on Fox. Bill Belichick on the CW, one of his many jobs, saying, pump the brakes a little bit on Caleb. Take a listen.
So what you're saying is, Coach, we can't plan a parade because Caleb was so accurate in the preseason.
Well, it wasn't accurate. He's 10 for 20.
Yeah, it's like you didn't watch the 20 throws. Come on. There's a reason he's excited.
It's 20 throws, Chad.
He buzzed through them. And
you got to think how good the 10 were that were completed. You know, the extended plays, the footwork.
They weren't that good. There was a couple highlight plays. But they weren't that good.
Nick is saying thank you.
Yeah, well, listen, I think Ryan Clark's
sarcastic.
the second best person on TV talking about football.
Since 2003. Hold on. Here's the graphic.
Yeah.
Nobody has won no number one pick has won their debut. Kyler came the closest. He tied. And
well, then I guess we know who your upset alert's going to be. You're going to be riding with the fighting Will Levis since that history.
I thought about
something.
it.
Can I just say something?
I've thought long and hard about it.
Listen.
I might change.
Ooh. This is, and shout out Ryan Clark, who's excellent, and Chris Long, who's excellent, Ocho, obviously, and Belichick will learn. But here's the deal. You can be as annoyed as me as you want, but the guy who hated media forever, I can't say, maybe he has a little rough around the edges.
He likes that round table, though. That's like the NFL.
Bill Belichick drafted 12 quarterbacks after Tom Brady, and the three best are Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Matt Castle. Nothing makes me happier than Bill Belichick not believing in Caleb. This is the same GM who could have gone straight from Tom Brady to Jordan Love, and instead was like, no, I'll trade out of that pick and pick up the 71st pick of the draft. The same GM who, with Brady having a year left, was like, oh, that kid from Louisville, Lamar Jackson, did I do anything with him? No, I'll take the wrong Georgia running back in Sony Michel. The same GM who drafted, who was like, you know what, we need to spend a mid-round pick on a quarterback during Brady's prime. And with Dak Prescott on the board, took Jacoby Brissett. So
you're mad that Dak Prescott was overlooked?
No, I'm saying that if you were drafting a quarterback and you have him or Jacoby and you're like, Jacoby's more my type, then you know what? Maybe Caleb just isn't your cup of tea. That's fine. I think Bill Belichick's brilliant at a lot of things. Quarterback evaluation has not been proven to be one of his strengths. And, Coach, I'm very curious what you think about this. Drafted a lot of quarterbacks, Coach.
I think that when you move on from Tom Brady, when you did, and he goes and wins a Super Bowl, that's probably not the best.
That's another quarterback evaluation thing.
Well, then also,
you can't go to commercial fast.
Well, I mean, it did happen, and there was some talk that they wanted to move on from Tom Brady
to go to
Garoppolo, and that got trumped by the owner, which, in retrospect, was a really good.
Yeah. If Robert Kraft was trashing Caleb,
here's what I'd say about what I'm not going to think for Bill, but I'd imagine just like most people, when you see something in the preseason against the 2s and 3s, you don't want to get too excited about it. And if anything, you want to downplay the hype as opposed to, magnify the hype like some people do. And I'm sure that's his perspective on it. But there is some credence to what Nick says about the history of
quarterback evaluation.
And really, Tom was a quarterback that was found late in the 6th round.
Yeah.
And if you thought that he was going to be Tom Brady, you probably would have drafted him number 1
these are all just facts from a man who was there.
4 minutes of the worst television we've
What?
That was just terrible.
What?
He said he wasn't wowed by Caleb's throws. He went 10 for 20.
He was pretty accurate, though. If you look at the passes, there were a few that were dropped. There were a lot of them were accurate.
Oh, not his fault then. 10 for 20. Sorry. You should have seen Mac Jones' numbers because Mac Jones had the highest.
Mac Jones, one of Belichick's only first-round pick at quarterback.
Yeah, guess what? The last 2 rookies to go to the playoffs were C.J. Stroud and Mac Jones. You don't like C.J. Stroud?
I think
you're going to keep dying on the Mac Jones hill.
I think Mac Jones is doing a great job in New England. That's right.
Wow! Wow!
You were talking about Mac's supporting cast. Is there a supporting cast like Caleb?
It's not a nice supporting cast in Jacksonville.
I'm rooting against Caleb now. I didn't pass. Play the game. Catch of the year. Some people saying right now, catch of the year.
Here's the thing. Well, if he just doesn't catch it, the Ravens have an extra 30 seconds. It was a sneaky big play time-wise.
Because he could have batted it down, but catching it keeps the clock running.
Savvy. Yeah. When Lamar catches his own pass, it literally wins Play of the Year.
Yeah, at the ESPYs.
At the ESPYs. Play of the Year. I got a 17-yard gain in a game I lost. Play of the Year.
17. It's 2 yards from Mullins. Wonderful. Derrick Henry, first touchdown. Didn't see much of it after.
Grand opening,
I was
grand
feeling
closing.
good after that.
I was too. I was like, yeah, Nick was wrong. Turns out he's right. It owes me $100. And then wonderful, Xavier Worthy. All we talked about all offseason was how fast Xavier Worthy was. And then he ran this in. People were like, holy cow, he's fast.
Can you look how many Kansas City Chiefs are out in front of them?
Yeah.
They've got like the whole team
maybe
is out in front of them.
And Coach Creed Humphrey, the center.
Look at this. Where
He
did
got
you see the
tracked
numbers?
at 15 miles
2,
per hour,
3,
52.
4, 5. There's like 8 guys out in front.
I don't know if you can see it, but that last banner there was supposed to be the one we drop here, and it pains me to do it.
Oh, it's Lamar and Harden.
It's Lamar and James Harden. It's the Spider-Man meme. And Brew, you know that once upon a time I was maybe James Harden's most vocal defender.
You thought he was the best player?
The best player to never win a ring, and I thought he was somewhat unfairly maligned. And I was like, you can't be this great in regular season, and then eventually water will find its level. I'm not going to be fooled again. They are both unique players that no one in league history has been exactly like them. Either one. They both are first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yes.
They are both MVP or MVPs repeated. They are both iconic. And they are both wholly and entirely unreliable in the biggest spots. It doesn't mean you'll never come through, but it means you are a fool if you say, I know they're coming through. I trust them to come through. And yesterday, to me, was the full Lamar Jackson experience. You have, on the plus side, these dynamic runs and back-breaking runs. It wasn't back-breaking in this game, but they can be. The 3rd and 8, he's running around these scrambles. A couple, this play's dead, this play's dead. Oh, that's a 50-yard touchdown. The Isaiah Likely play and, those plays.
That was a great.
And then a bunch of checkdowns to nowhere, deep balls that have no chance, missed layups, and really questionable decisions on putting his body at risk when running the ball. So my fear doesn't lie to me. How I feel watching these games as a diehard Chiefs fan, someone that bets money on the games, grew up in Kansas City. So you can tell me it's unfair, this shouldn't be the ranking. But I've watched the Chiefs play Joe Burrow. I am more worried. I've watched the Chiefs play Josh Allen. I am more worried. You're going to hate this, Wilds, but Brew was with me. I've watched the Chiefs play Justin Herbert. I was more worried.
Yeah, Herbert.
The Chiefs haven't played C.J. Stroud yet. I think I'll be more worried. I'm not worried when I'm playing Lamar. I'm just not. And so, I was not. I know he had almost 400 yards. I was not impressed.
Do you want to go
And I was not
first?
worried.
No.
Because you love Lamar?
No, I love Lamar, but I wasn't impressed by this performance. I also thought, Brew, and just put this in I'll give you another question.
Speaker.
It felt like he wanted this game to a point where he was acting. It was almost Elway-esque in the Super Bowl.
But that was the last game of the guy's career.
I know, but that's what it felt like. He's like, I need this game badly. I'm going to leave it all on the field. I have to do everything. I'm going to take off. I'm going to lower my shoulder. He was really going for it. And the fact that he came up short,
well,
even though you're emboldened, I was disappointed.
He ran terrifically. He verified what we've said, and what I've said. He wants to run this year.
That cannot work. I
agree. Even the plays where he didn't, obviously lowering the shoulder, he won't last.
He initiated more contact than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he won't last that way. But even the plays where he didn't do that, I just don't think he can run this much because he was running into a lot of traffic. And he was great. I do think overall it was like you said, you got both, you got a lot of both. He was great in a lot of ways. He kept them in the game. Some of the passes he made, like you said, Likely, a couple other passes, plus the running. It reminded me, now it wasn't as good as Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. Remember Jalen? But hold on, listen, hear me out. When Jalen threw for 300, ran for 70, it wasn't as good as that. But it reminded me of that because Jalen was great, but lost them the game to some degree when he had that unforced fumble that Nick Bolton returned for a touchdown. Lamar was great in a lot of ways, but lost them the game when he couldn't hit Isaiah Likely or Zay Flower in that last
I
possession.
did not think he was
kept
great
them in
at
the game.
any point.
Oh, I do. I thought the way, and it's different. It's always going to be different with him. He's not an elite passer. We all know that. He's a good passer. Now, yesterday he wasn't even good a lot of times.
Right, that's what
But
I'm saying.
his running, that's however it works. Running worked, and he kept them in the game and gave them a chance to win against the two-time defending champion.